You can be the most super duper engineer programmer in the world, but if you can't share your ideas with other people, it's going to be hard for you to maintain employment.
My name is Trent Lindholm. I took the class in the summer of 2012, and I currently work for General Dynamics, where I've worked for the past 2 years.
Hi, my name is Yoon. I'm a junior chemical engineering major, and I took the technical writing course in my sophomore year in spring of 2012.
My name is Heckscher. I'm a software engineer. I did my undergraduate degree in electrical engineering and physics at George Mason University. Then I went on to get my master's at Johns Hopkins University in computer science a few years later. I basically do software development for a company called Northrop Grumman.
So this past summer, I've worked at the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Lab, and I've worked on a bioaerosol project with the team, and what we have done is characterize particles based on the change in humidity and to look at their size and then their differences. So the way that technical writing really helped me out during this internship is that throughout the entire research project, I had to give progress reports on what I've done to my supervisor, and also to give documentation at the end so that they can easily reproduce my work.
During my time at General Dynamics, I've created multiple devices, and one of the things you have to do after you create a device is document and create a manual of how to use that, implement that device into the workplace. So I write manuals that allow just anybody to be able to pick it up, say, okay, I need to do this, this, and this with it, and this is how I would incorporate it into this various machine. So technical writing has helped me to be able to know how to properly communicate those ideas.
So I've applied technical writing in my career a number of ways. I guess I'll start at the one end and go to the other end. I mean, one end is like, okay, you get emails and you need to communicate your ideas to a wider audience to capture some notions. So that's a very informal sort of way of having a thread of conversation. And then you move from there to something like, say, as a software engineer, you have sort of a ticketing system where you're describing units of work that need to be done so other people can do the work, that sort of thing, or characterizing a defect that you might find so people can understand what the defect is. And then you go from there to say, you could do write white papers, or say, let's go a little bit more complex, like a wiki page. I volunteered to write a wiki page from Northrop Grumman that basically describes how to do Agile as a process for software development, Agile techniques for testing. So you're writing a wiki that other people can read and across the entire enterprise. So you have an audience there. Our Northrop Grumman is a ginormous company of like 100,000 people. So you're having a pretty wide audience there. People are going to be reading your wiki, right? And then you go from there to developing PowerPoint presentations to give a discussion that you're an expert in.
Engineers are required to take technical writing because part of being an engineer is writing documents and proposals, and the skills that you learn in technical writing help you to effectively write those proposals and documents. It also helps you to properly communicate with other people when you relate your ideas to them to be able to effectively conquer the task that you've been given.
Well, technical writing is important for many reasons. Whenever engineers make something, engineer anything, they need to present their work to a body of people, whether it be the population or to a panelist who they need to get some grant money from. So if they cannot present what they want to do or what they have found to the people that are important to them, then none of their work is important. None of their work can be published or be used in any way.
I think engineers are required to take technical writing because engineering, just like any profession, you have to be able to communicate your ideas. You can be the most super duper engineer programmer in the world, but if you can't share your ideas with other people, it's going to be hard for you to maintain employment in that field or be successful in that field. So it's essential that you communicate through writing, and you can accomplish a certain level of information exchange through instant messaging, but you still need to send the occasional email to wider audiences, and then also you need to write proposals, or in some cases, like if like for me, I'm a software developer. We work around ticketing systems where you have tasks that you need to do, tickets of work that describe, the requirement or the story that you need to implement, and where the acceptance criteria for that story. So you have to succinctly be able to write it such that somebody can understand it and do the work. Technical writing is a very important skill to have, and you're not always talking to other technical people.
Well, out of many things, I feel that the good tips I learned about writing the resume was the most helpful. First, the formatting of the resume to make it presentable, to make it easy for the interviewer to know what you have done in the past in your accomplishments is a great tip for all engineers who want to get a job in the future. And also to know what kind of content that they're expecting, where to place things. So personally, I moved up my publications up right after education rather than being at the very end, and that's some good tips that I've learned from technical writing.
What I enjoyed from technical writing was being able to refine my resume and learn what employers were looking for. The skills that I got from technical writing helped me learn how to make my resume stand out when compared to other applicants. Also, when writing the cover letter for that resume, I was able to apply that towards grad school, and it helped me refine that and have that all ready for my application to grad school.
I think the most important thing is being be able to write a basic paragraph and have transitions between paragraphs, and being able to take something that's very complex and write it in the terms that somebody who's maybe not technical can understand.
One of the things in my class is we took time to focus on spreadsheets and various other tools that engineers have already generally utilized.
I thought there's nothing I really disliked, and I thought, it was a nice chance to get a break from technical classes, and it's a good way to improve your grade point average, to be honest. And also, it's a good way to break stereotypes that technical people can't write.
Don't procrastinate.
Any last comments? I think technical writing is an extremely important skill to have. It might not seem that way in this world of instant messaging and Googling and hyper instant this and that, but being able to effectively communicate your ideas is essential to being an engineer or a business person or whatever career you decide to pursue. And I encourage people to practice and to take opportunities to learn how to do public speaking and writing, because it'll help your career. So.
Proofread.
Technical writing is a course that is not like any of our other courses generally. You don't see us writing papers or manuals or various things like that. Because of this, most students tend to just disregard it as a class that doesn't matter much, but it is a class that does matter. The things you learn can be useful in the future. So don't throw it off and act like it's nothing. Put some time in, try to learn, and do your best.